DC is about to dethrone Marvel as the king of superhero storytelling. With a renewed focus on self-contained stories, complex characters, and a wider range of tones, DC is poised to capture the hearts and wallets of audiences seeking a richer superhero experience. While the intricate tapestry of interconnected universes can be captivating, sometimes it's incredibly refreshing to encounter a story that stands proudly on its own. DC seems to be recognizing this, wisely exploring more standalone projects that offer a different kind of storytelling experience. This focus on self-contained narratives allows writers and directors the freedom to truly delve into the nuances of a single character or storyline without the constraints of fitting into a larger, pre-established continuity. They can explore every facet of a character's motivations, every twist and turn of a plot without having to worry about how it impacts other films or series. This concentrated approach often leads to richer, more satisfying stories, as the creators can dedicate all their energy to crafting a singular, compelling narrative. We've already seen evidence of this in DC's recent successes with standalone comics and graphic novels, which have demonstrated the power of focused storytelling and the potential for unique character arcs to resonate deeply with audiences. This strategy could prove to be a major strength for DC going forward, offering a diverse range of storytelling experiences that complement, rather than compete with, the grander narratives of shared universes. Speaking of creative freedom, DC has consistently demonstrated a willingness to explore darker and more mature themes within the superhero genre, setting them apart from some of their contemporaries. This isn't just about gratuitous violence or grim aesthetics. It's about a commitment to offering a more complex and nuanced look at the very nature of heroism, villainy, and the gray areas in between. By delving into more mature themes, DC can tell stories that resonate deeply with older audiences, those who have moved beyond the simple good versus evil narratives of their youth. These stories often grapple with complex moral and philosophical questions, forcing both the characters and the audience to confront uncomfortable truths about society, justice, and the human condition. Iconic examples like Batman, The Killing Joke, and Watchmen perfectly illustrate this approach. The Killing Joke explores the fragile line between sanity and madness, while Watchmen deconstructs the superhero myth, examining the psychological toll of vigilantism and the potential for corruption even among the most powerful beings. These titles, and many others like them, tackle mature themes in a way that is not only thought-provoking, but also highly entertaining, demonstrating that superhero stories can be both intellectually stimulating and viscerally engaging. This willingness to embrace complexity and explore the darker corners of the superhero genre is a key element of DC's identity, and a major reason why they continue to attract a diverse and engaged fan base. And it's important to emphasize that DC's embrace of mature themes doesn't solely equate to a relentless parade of darkness and grit. In fact, quite the opposite is true. DC is actively expanding its storytelling palette, embracing a wider range of genres and tones, from the aforementioned dark and gritty explorations to stories that are brimming with hope and optimism. This commitment to tonal variety means we'll see a greater diversity of stories, ultimately appealing to a broader and more diverse audience. This isn't just about chasing trends, it's about recognizing that the superhero genre is capable of encompassing a vast spectrum of human experience. For example, The Batman delivered a masterfully crafted dark and gritty detective story, immersing viewers in the grim underbelly of Gotham City. In stark contrast, Shazam offered a lighthearted and comedic take on the superhero genre, capturing the childlike wonder of suddenly possessing extraordinary powers. These two films, though vastly different in tone, both explore the core themes of heroism and responsibility, demonstrating the versatility of the superhero mythos. This diversity in storytelling allows DC to connect with a wider range of viewers, offering something for everyone, whether they prefer the brooding introspection of a Dark Knight or the exuberant joy of a superpowered kid. By embracing this spectrum of tones and genres, DC is not only broadening its appeal, but also enriching the very definition of what a superhero story can be. Now let's move on to the characters themselves. Let's be honest, Marvel's villains haven't been that impressive lately. DC, on the other hand, has a roster of iconic baddies like Joker, Lex Luthor, and Darkseid, who are more than a match for their heroic counterparts. And with DC's new focus on quality, we can expect even more complex and compelling villains in the future. One key insight here is that many Marvel villains don't fully utilize their powers, while DC villains tend to be more formidable and pose a greater challenge to their heroes. This makes for more exciting conflicts and raises the stakes for the heroes. And it's not just the villains that are more compelling. DC's heroes are more than just quippy one-liners and flashy powers. They're complex characters with rich backstories and compelling motivations. With the new DCU, we can expect even deeper exploration of these characters, making them more relatable and engaging. This focus on character development is a key difference between DC and Marvel. While Marvel often focuses on the world outside your window, with relatable heroes facing everyday problems, DC takes a more aspirational approach, presenting heroes as ideals to strive for. Now, let's talk about where it all began, the comics. DC has always been a powerhouse in the world of comics and animation. With their recent successes in these areas, they're poised to leverage this strength to further boost their overall popularity. For example, titles like Absolute Power and DC All-In Special Number 1 have been huge successes, generating excitement and bringing new readers to DC. In animation, DC has a long history of acclaimed shows and movies, such as Batman, the animated series, and Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox. These successes demonstrate DC's ability to tell compelling stories in different mediums, which can only strengthen their overall brand. And speaking of popular characters, DC is bringing back fan-favorite characters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but with fresh takes that will excite both old and new fans. This includes new movies like Superman Legacy and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which will reintroduce these iconic characters to a new generation of viewers. It's also worth noting that Wonder Woman is currently the most popular female superhero in the US, dominating in 31 states. This demonstrates the enduring appeal of these characters and their potential to draw audiences back to DC. After years of grim and gritty superhero flicks, audiences are craving something more hopeful. DC is embracing a more optimistic tone, offering a refreshing change of pace from the often cynical world of Marvel. This optimism is not just a superficial change, it reflects a fundamental difference in how DC and Marvel view their heroes. In the DC universe, humans are generally more accepting of superheroes and view them with admiration, while in the Marvel universe, heroes are often met with fear and distrust. This difference in perception allows DC to tell stories that are more hopeful and inspiring, which may resonate with audiences who are looking for something more positive in their entertainment. DC's potential for success is also rooted in its willingness to learn from its past mistakes. The DC Extended Universe had its share of failures, such as Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, which were criticized for their dark tone and inconsistent storytelling. However, DC also had successes like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, which demonstrated the potential for more hopeful and standalone stories. By analyzing these successes and failures, DC can refine its approach and create a more cohesive and successful cinematic universe. And the number one reason why DC will overtake Marvel: new leadership and vision. With James Gunn and Peter Safran at the helm, DC has a clear direction and a renewed focus on quality. They have an 8 to 10 year plan for the DCU, working closely with other creatives to ensure a balance between individual visions and the overall franchise plan. This new leadership is exactly what DC needs to overtake Marvel, and the evidence is already there. DC's market share in comic book sales has been steadily increasing, while Marvel's has been declining. This suggests that DC is gaining momentum and that their new strategy is resonating with fans. If you're hungry for more superhero stories beyond the usual suspects, and you're curious about some truly unique characters who deserve another shot at the spotlight, then don't forget to check out my previous video on forgotten superheroes who need a comeback. Click the link in the description below to dive into a world of untapped potential and discover some hidden gems of the DC universe.